Hi, this is Justin Kahn from the Decatur Herald and Review here at the IHSA Boys State Track Meet here at O'Brien Field in Charleston. Of course, they had the finals today, Class 1A, 2A, and 3A. Huge day like we expected. Neoga's Corey Kersey won the state title in both the long jump and triple jump based on his jumps from Thursday. He never bettered those. Had a good day jumping, but just his jumps from Thursday carried over, and he's a double state champion. So, an incredible accomplishment for a guy who really was not technically a great jumper until this year. He was a guy who just got by on his athletic ability. This year he learned a little bit more what he was doing, and obviously it paid off very big for him.
Today I was still worried that the Athens kid could come out and put up a fight, so I still struggled and pushed.
Kersey was the only guy who won 2 state championships, but we had several other state champions. Jason Fry from Stewart's and Strasburg took first in the shot put, and it wasn't really close. He ended up throwing his 2 best throws of the whole year, one on Thursday and then one today. I think he went over 56 today. So a great day for a senior who really was a guy who was, medaled last year but wasn't among the top guys, and this year he made himself one of the top guys with hard work, and obviously it paid off. State championship in the shot put, and I believe he ended up 3rd in the discus as well, so a huge day for a guy in Fry who is going to go on to throw at Western Illinois University. So he's just a big, strong kid who loves, you can just tell by watching him, he loves track and loves throwing, so definitely good for him. Another guy who had hoped to win 2 state championships today, Brock Smith from Tuscola, ended up with, honestly, he ended with 2 medals. He got 2nd in the 100 and 9th in the 200, but wanted to do much better. In the 100, I believe it was 0.02 seconds that he finished behind the state champion. So he, kind of laughed that one off a little bit. The times were so close and so good that he felt good about his performance in the 100. So, a second place medal is great, and he thought, okay, now I can go on and win the 200. Started out in the 200. From the very first step, he felt something pulling his hamstring and just wasn't himself. Ended up 9th in the race, and at that point, Tuscola had a really good shot at winning the team state title. They, especially if he won, they were going to be in pretty good position to possibly win the state title. It didn't happen. He's a guy who, at that point, had put more pressure on himself to win for the team than he was for himself. So, he was really disappointed and just kind of felt like he let his teammates down, which, obviously, Tuscola's they're not even there without him making state in those 2 events and his second place finish in the 100. So, disappointing, I guess, in what his expectations probably were going into the meet, but going into the year, he's a guy who missed the entire season last year because of injury. So, to get a 2nd and a 9th, that's a good year. Most runners in the state, 99% of the runners in the state would take that.
I don't know. It feels awful. My leg feels awful, but oh well. Got my hamstring in that start there, and just, I don't know. Couldn't do it. Couldn't do it.
Another guy who had a great day today was Jason Pokalski from Central A&M. Pokalski is a guy who, I told me the other day, he's a football player who just kind of runs track as well. He disappointed himself in the 100 in prelims, but had the best 400 time in prelims. Kind of surprised himself a little bit. He wasn't ranked that high, seated, based on his sectional time coming into state. So, he came out and, I don't want to ever call somebody's state championship easy, but he won it pretty easily. I mean, by the end of the race, he kind of cruised into the finish line, and he was by far the best 400 runner in the state this weekend. So definitely an impressive performance out of Jason Pokalski from Central A&M. Another guy who had a great day, who may have expected a little bit more, was Ty Sutherland of Cumberland. He came in, he was the best 800 runner in the state all year. Had the best time coming in. He got beat by Michael Brown of Carmi White County in the prelims. I think he still felt like, though, that he had a little bit left and could take Brown at the finish line. He knew Brown had a good finishing kick. He got out to a nice lead, and it looked like things were going to go his way. And he had the lead kind of even into the final stretch. But, man, Brown and I think Sutherland kind of tipped his cap. He's got a great kick at the end and was just able to outkick Sutherland. Sutherland just said he just didn't quite have it. Just didn't feel, like he had it in the tank at that point. So second place in state, obviously a great finish, but for a guy who wanted to get first, he did run his best time of the year, which I know he was pleased with. So I think there was a little bit of a kind of a mixed feeling for him. Had a great day, but would have liked to have won state, obviously, like anybody who has the chance would. One of the reasons Tuscola is even in the mix for the state title, obviously Smith's performance. Eric Ponder, the distance runner, ended up third in the 3,200 and fourth in the 1,600. So, a great day for a guy who's, become one of the better distance runners in the state here in the last year or so. And then I think maybe not a total surprise, but I think they definitely exceeded expectations were Tuscola's throwers. In the shot, they had Clayton Turner, who got 9th, and Stephen Gibson, who got 2nd place. And I know that going into this, those guys were kind of just let's make finals and see what happens from there. Gibson finished 2nd in the shot and 4th in the discus, so definitely more than he expected going in. And these are guys in Turner and Gibson who, were good throwers last year, but not necessarily, guys who you thought about on the state scene. And really, Gibson just blew up. He gives all the credit to throws coach Stan Winke. But, I mean, he's a guy who also physically just kind of grew into the role. He's got some good height and length to where I think that helps him out in the discus. And he's a strong kid. And, as a junior, 2nd and 4th, definitely, I'm sure that he's going home very happy today. Another guy who definitely exceeded expectations, though, was Meridian's Noah Adams. It's always tough at state, especially in the high jump, to match what you've done in the past. But, he's a guy who ended up exceeding what he had done. He ended up getting his best jump of the year, 6.5 at state, ended up getting himself a 4th place medal. So, and Adams is a sophomore, so and kind of now sees that he's got a lot of potential in that event. So he's going to continue to, work at it and get better and improve. But, 6.5 as a sophomore is a big jump, and I think definitely he's a guy to be excited about going forward as well.
I just knew I had to be quick through the approach and just take it like it was any other jump, and I did it. It felt great.
Another guy from the county, Argenta Orienta's Austin Winskunas, ended up 6th in the long jump. He's a guy who struggled with back problems all year, and it got him today, sciatic nerve stuff. Just didn't quite get his best jump. He ended up carrying over his 21.4 from Thursday. But he's a guy who got 3 medals in his career. That's a great career. And not many guys can say they, won 3 state medals 3 years in their career. So a good career from Winskunas. His teammate Quentin Crawley also medaled. I believe he was 9th in the triple jump. So that definitely exceeded expectations a little bit. I think he was on the lower half, in the seeding going in, and yesterday didn't, wasn't necessarily in play for a medal, but he ends up 9th. So good day for Argenta, no question about it. In the pole vault, another guy who had a chance at a state title and I think felt like he could win it was Riley Smith of KZ Westfield. His feelings were mixed. I mean, he got 2nd in state, but I think he felt like he could have got that next height and maybe challenged Denby. I liked Smith talking to him afterwards. He said, I got this next year. This is my state championship next year. So, I definitely, you like to hear that confidence from a kid, and you also, he's got the ability just from watching him. So, kind of a mixed feelings from him as well today, but, you can't beat 2nd in state is a pretty good day. Another team that did pretty well today was the Shelbyville 4x800 relay team. They got 4th. Arcola's 4x100 team was 4th as well. So, just a lot of state medals from the area today. Way too many for me to talk about them all right now, but make sure you check us out in print. We'll have tons and tons of interviews with kids and, of course, all the results. So make sure to check out heraldandreview.com for all the coverage.